Hello and welcome on this new midweek analysis video from Xtreme Trader. This is Salah speaking. So I'm totally aware about the situation, and currently the signals from the last weekly analysis video are of course not running well. As you can see, the EURUSD is going in loss. Same goes to the GBPUSD, AUDUSD. USD of course has officially exceeded the safe zone and considered as a loss signal. USDJPY actually was running in about 105 pips of profit, but again it went back in the entry and currently running in break even. USDCHF has officially been considered as a lost signal. The gold of course hasn't been triggered, but it hit the take profit level. So I'm here today to tell you what we can do next in the remaining days of this week. And of course we have to consider that tomorrow, Wednesday, we will be having the ISM PMI news for the USD pairs. So again, let me just show it to you. So as you can see, my friends, these are the news or the upcoming news for today on the market. And we are having tonight at 7 p.m. Dubai time, 3 p.m. GMT time, we will be having the CB consumer confidence. However, I don't think that this actually might make an impact on the market. It might does, of course, but from my experience, I don't think it's going to happen. However, we will be focusing more, of course, on tomorrow, Wednesday, February 1st, on the FOMC statement and the ISM PMI. So again, keep in mind that these signals which you are about to see in this video might actually be changed upon the impact of the market upon these news. So consider, of course, to close all your positions before the news hit the market. Here goes your warning. I have done my part. Now the rest is on you. Now, let's now begin the midweek analysis, and let's now begin with the EURUSD. So regarding this pair, if I'm not mistaken right now, the EURUSD is actually going to continue the fall. If we look at the daily chart right now, the price action, my friends, always tells us what's going to happen. So currently, the price action of Monday, this is the candle of Monday, this actually shows us a strong pressure from the sellers, and the market seems like it's going to continue the fall. After the appearance of this candle, we actually thought that maybe this is a new support level and the market actually right now might continue the rise, but of course that doesn't work every time. And as you can see, the candle of today, Tuesday, is so far a very strong bearish candle, and that can be seen by the current price action. And of course, if we go to the 4-hour time frame as well, we can see how the market has made here a very strong bearish breakout from that level of a previous support. That being said, if we look at the left side, we're having here that resistance trend line. And if we look at the current structure that's appearing, we can see that this actually was entirely a fake breakout, and the market, after making us thinking that it's going to continue the rise, what happened next is actually the vice versa, and the market seems like after making that support trend line, the market has went down again below that level of a support trend line. Now currently the EURUSD is actually facing a strong key support level right here, exactly at the current price at 1.08080, and that resistance trend line, in my opinion, is most likely gonna be respected once the market make a pullback upon the pressure from that support and rise again, and we can actually sell the EURUSD exactly right on that level of the new resistance. And of course, if we look at the left side, we can see clearly right here exactly. Let me just be accurate as much as possible. Exactly right there, to be accurate, just right there at the absolute lowest level of the support right here, which was of course previously a resistance level right here and right there as well. That being said, this signal is going to be changed to sell the EURUSD at 1.08353. That's going to be my signal for the midweek analysis. And of course, the edge of the safe zone is now going to be changed. I'm trying to do that. Let me just do it and I'll be back to you. And of course, there goes your signal for the EURUSD. The safe zone is going to be ranging for about, actually that's a lot. I forgot to change that actually, my friends, sorry. Let me just see, the edge of the safe zone should be ranging just right here, the highest level of the resistance right there, which is going to be the edge of our safe zone, and exactly there it is. The edge of the safe zone is going to be ranging for about 51 pips against 108 pips, aiming that level of a support at 1.07262. That's everything for the EURUSD. Let's now move to the pound USD. Alright, so of course the pound USD signal has to be changed as well. We are no longer gonna keep buying this pair. Now let me just tell you something. Actually, if we look at the daily chart, we are seeing something very similar to the Euro USD. Now the last candle of Monday actually has closed like this price action, and keep in mind that we are actually on a resistance level, and that can be confirming that the pound USD is indeed going to continue the fall. Not to mention, of course, that we're having here that support trend line, and check this out, that support trend line has actually been broken out from by this current daily candle. Now moving to the 4-hour time frame. Now on the 4-hour time frame, as you can see, the same support trend lines, and that was the breakout from that level. Therefore, if I'm not mistaken, my friends, all we need to do right now is identifying the strongest level of a resistance and support on this structure. Now if we look at this level right here of the resistance, exactly just right there, check this out. So that level of a resistance right here has been created after the breakout from that level of a support, which was of course previously a strong resistance in the past as well. Now if we look carefully, right here lies the retest of that level. So this is the broken level of a support trend line, just like that. And as we can see, the market has been respecting that level. Now if the market is going to be able to rise again, first of all, it's going to be retesting the broken level of a support trend line to create a new resistance trend line, and also that level of a broken support level is going to be respected to create a new resistance. That has already happened, by the way. That pattern right here, these three candles, all of them together represents the resistance number 1. Therefore, if the market is going to be able to reach the same level, that's going to be resistance number 2, and that is where exactly we can start safely, in my opinion, shorting the pound USD, which means we have to wait for the market to rise again for about 51 pips. And again, in the pound USD, that's actually almost nothing. That can actually easily be achieved. However, the take profit level is going to be right here at the absolute lowest level of the support in the structure at 1.22618, which means it's going to be ranging for about, I would say 100 pips exactly, and the safe zone that actually shouldn't be ranging exactly higher than the level of the nearest resistance to the entry, exactly right here at 1.24181, which means the safe zone is ranging for about 54 pips. Of course, the reason for that is we're actually selling right here based on that support trend line, and if the market is gonna be able to exceed that level, then most likely that support trend line is no more being respected, and there is no way that it's gonna become a new resistance trend line. What will gonna happen if that happen, of course, if the market is gonna exceed that level, then we can actually expect a pullback, and that level of a support trend line is going to become a new support trend line, and again is going to continue rising. But with the current situation, or the current strength for the USD, I don't think this is going to happen, and most likely the pound USD is going to continue the fall. Therefore, let me just write for you the signal just like that quickly. So sell right there at 1.23610, and the take profit level to be placed at 1.22618. There goes your signal for the pound USD. Moving now to the AUDUSD. Alright, so officially the AUDUSD signal has failed. Now it's exceeding the edge of the safe zone, and it seems like the candle is gonna close like that. So what we can do next with this pair? Of course, we have to fix what happened. Right now, if we look at the daily chart, that price action, of course, is a strong indicator for selling the market. As you can see, the market has eventually respected that level of a breakout as a resistance, and again has reversed exactly right on it. Now, if I'm not mistaken, hopefully I'm not, if we go now to the 4-hour time frame, actually let's stay back in the daily chart. Sorry guys, we are back to the daily chart. Now on the daily chart, we are having that support trend line, and as you can see, the market has indeed managed to break out from it. Now, most likely, the next target for the AUDUSD is going to be right here, the nearest support level to that bearish breakout candle. Now, what I'm expecting actually, let me just tell you this. So we're having that support trend line right there from the beginning. Let's just draw the support trend line from the absolute beginning of the chart. Exactly, just like that. So right now we're having that on the bigger time frame on daily chart, we're having that strong key support trend line, and seems like right now the AUDUSD is actually going toward that level to respect that level of a new support. So that's going to be a new support trend line, and of course it's going to be the second attempt of a support, since we're having right here the support number 1, and if the market is going to be able to reach that level, that's going to be support number 2. From that point we can start buying the AUDUSD, but until then we're going to maintain sell order. That means we have to find somewhere right here where we can actually sell the AUDUSD. Let's now move to the 4-hour time frame. Now on the 4-hour time frame, the first thing that we can spot is of course the nearest strong key resistance level, which lies exactly right there. Let me just be accurate to the maximum, exactly right here. That was of course a broken level of a resistance, and we can see that the market has made here the bullish breakout from it, and instead of creating a new support, the market has instantly fall below that level of a previous resistance, went below of it, and right now we're having here that level of a support zone. Therefore now at this point we can expect from the AUDUSD to start the pullback, and right here we can start selling again the AUDUSD upon the pressure from that level of a resistance. That resistance is most likely gonna be respected again, and then we can start selling the AUDUSD, aiming that support at 0.69069, which means we are actually aiming approximately 137 pips of profit. Meanwhile, the safe zone won't be ranging higher than this level of a resistance right here at 0.71076. Moving now to the USD CAD. Alright, so of course the USD CAD signal has failed, and let me now delete the old signal, and let's see now what we can do next with this pair. Now the first thing that we can see of course here on the USD CAD is that level of a resistance right here at the current price at 1.34540. Now we can actually expect from the USD CAD to make a pullback upon the pressure from that previous resistance, so most likely it's going to be respected. But can we think that the USD CAD is actually going to start a bearish journey? Most likely that's not going to happen. In my opinion, the USD CAD will actually continue the rise. The question is where exactly we can start buying this pair. The answer lies with the support trend lines. What we can do, my friends, is simply draw here a support trend line from this lower low all the way to this higher low, just like that. Now the next step is of course, as everybody knows, is to drag the same support trend line, and as we can see, the market has most likely respected the same support trend line almost everywhere in the chart. Check this out right here. For example, we can see that this resistance trend line has been respected right here. It became a support trend line, and of course if I drag it right here, we can see that this support trend line has been respected twice. It became a resistance trend line right here, again another one right here, and it became another resistance trend line right here. So as we can see, the market has indeed respected that level of a support trend line almost every single time. So what we can do next is simply use the same support trend line, just like that, and check this out. If I put it at the current structure, we can see right here that the support trend line has indeed been respected multiple times. Therefore what we can do next is just drag the same support trend line and just place it at the nearest resistance trend line, which lies exactly right here. That was, my friends, a nearest resistance trend line, which was previously a support trend line, and as you can see, this was of course a real level of a support trend line, which has faced a fake breakout and another actual breakout, because the market has actually become here a resistance trend line. Not only that, if we look at the left side right now, we can notice right here that we're having actually a strong key support level exactly right there. This level of support has actually been respected repeatedly. It became of course a resistance level. Lately it was a resistance, and now after the bullish breakout, I'm expecting from that level of a support, a resistance, to become a new support. If you don't trust this resistance trend line, let's delete it. There is of course another simple and easy way to confirm the direction of it, which is of course right like this. Or actually, let me just be more accurate, just like this. Perfect. I'm just aligning the support trend line to match up with this reversal right here, which became a resistance right here and another support right here. And now we can see the candle has actually shoot from here exactly, which means if the market is gonna fall right here after it fall for about 30 pips, that level of a previous support trend line is most likely gonna be respected, and that level of a broken resistance is gonna become a new support trend line. All of that together indicates that the USD CAD indeed gonna continue the rise. The question is where the USD CAD is gonna continue rising to. If I'm not mistaken, the USD CAD actually gonna continue flying till it reach that level of a resistance right here at 1.35135, and afterwards we can start selling the USD CAD, aiming that previous level of a support trend line where we are actually going to start buying at the moment. Therefore, the edge of the safe zone is going to be ranging for about right here exactly. Actually, no, wait a minute. Right, just right there at the nearest strong key support level to our entry, which lies exactly right here. That means that the safe zone is ranging for about 42 pips against 91 pips of profit. Moving now to the USDJPY. So of course, regarding the USDJPY, I believe that we can still keep the same signal. So far I don't see any reason to change the signal. Everything still seems good to me. I mean, the USDJPY seems like it's still respecting that level of a resistance trend line. Check this out, that we had here the resistance trend line, and as I explained to you in the last video, we're having here that channel or a triangle, and the USDJPY seems like it's actually gonna get narrow and more narrow, and it's gonna reach the end of the bottleneck. And I think from that point we will witness a price explosion. Based on the daily chart, of course, we are facing a very strong key resistance level on the same level of the current price. That's the reason I think that the price explosion is going to be bearish, and most likely the USDJPY will continue to fall. That being said, USDJPY signal just remains the same. Let's now move to the USDCHF. Alright, so of course the USDCHF signal is no more valid. Let's see now, my friends, what we can do next with this pair. Let's just move to the daily chart, and right now, as we can see the daily chart, the market eventually has actually been respecting that level of a previous support. We actually thought that the USDCHF is actually facing right here a support trend line, and it has actually made the bearish breakout from it, and that was the reason, of course, behind my analysis to start selling the USDCHF. But unfortunately that did not happen, and seems like the market is actually going to continue the rise at this point. Now, based on the daily chart also, we can see clearly that we had right here a resistance trend line, and as we can see, my friends, the market has actually today made the bullish breakout from that level of a resistance trend line. So let's go now to the 4-hour time frame. Now what we can see right here on the 4-hour time frame is, of course, let me just be more accurate, just draw here the resistance trend line just like that. And exactly, that is accurate in my opinion, exactly like that. We can see how the market has actually been respecting that level of a resistance trend line. Then we had here one fake breakout, and again the market instantly went below that level of a resistance trend line, and again has immediately respected that level. So I mean, that level respected these two previous attempts. Now again, this level of a resistance trend line has also been respecting the 3 of these attempts. Now recently we can see the bullish breakout from that level, which indicates that the USDCHF is most likely going to continue the rise. Now, to find the exact entry where we can start buying the USDCHF, we will use, of course, the trend lines just like that. I'm trying to analyze to align it actually to match the current, or actually the previous support trend lines, just like that. Perfect. So as we can see, that support trend line has actually become a resistance trend line, and it became here a support trend line, and recently it became another resistance trend line. So after the bullish breakout here, I assume, or I believe, that the USDCHF is gonna make a pullback upon the pressure from the current resistance at 0.92807, and that level of a support trend line is most likely gonna be respected. The question is where exactly we can start shorting. Buying, I mean. I'm looking at the left side to find the nearest strong, exactly right here, at 0.99244. That was, my friends, a very strong key support level, resistance level, as we can see. It was, of course, a strong key support level also right there and right here. All of that together indicates that 0.92444 is actually going to be a good level to start buying the USDCHF after it falls for about 33 pips. Now for the safe zone, the safe zone shouldn't actually be ranging lower than this level of a strong key support level at 0.92003, and the take profit level, if I'm not mistaken, gonna be placed right here at the absolute highest level of a resistance, exactly right here at 0.93485, which means the safe zone is gonna be ranging for about 42 pips against 105 pips of profit. Moving now to the gold. Alright, so the gold of course has went in the right direction, but what can we do next with this pair? Let me of course just delete the old signal, and let's see now what we can do next with the gold. Now, as you can see, my friends, this is similar to what I'm telling you always. So right here we have the triangle, and of course the gold has actually reached the bottleneck of it, and as you can see, what's happening currently is what we are calling the price explosion, and the gold has actually went in about 200 pips, actually even more, after the bearish breakout from that triangle. So what's next with this pair? Now what we need to consider, of course, is the broken level of a support right here, exactly right there. Let me just be accurate, right here exactly at 1916.30. Now the gold, of course, my friends, if we look at the daily chart, is actually going to continue the fall till it reaches that level of a support right here exactly, as I told you before, at 1889.50, which means the gold still has about 170 pips, I would say, still more to go. So the question is the gold gonna start the bearish movement right now? Most likely not, because we are having right here, of course, a strong key support level, and most likely the gold is actually gonna make a pullback upon the pressure from that support, and most likely is gonna be retesting the broken level of a support right here, which was in the past a real level of a resistance also. That means that the gold has a potential to rise again for about 97 pips before we can start shorting it. Now, to confirm this entry, what we will do right here is simply draw a resistance trend line all the way just like that. Fantastic. So as you can see, my friends, we had right here a resistance trend line, and by the way, this structure is very similar to the EURUSD. So therefore, that resistance trend line right here is most likely gonna be respected right here after the major fake breakout. It became, of course, a support trend line for multiple times. Now after that fake breakout, the gold is most likely going to be respecting that level of a resistance trend line, which means we are going to start shorting the gold exactly right there at 1916.30, and going to be aiming approximately 273 pips of profit. Meanwhile, the safe zone shouldn't actually be ranging higher than this level of a resistance right there, exactly right there. Let me just be sure, at 1929.54, which means the safe zone is ranging for about 134 pips against 270 pips of profit. And there goes your signal, my friends, for the USD and the gold for this for the remaining days of this week. Again, I want to remind everyone about tomorrow, Wednesday. We will be having the FOMC statements and the ISM PMIs. Please be careful, my friends, and be wise about your trades. I really advise you to close your trades upon the news to avoid any sudden losses. And of course, keep in mind that these signals are subjective to be in loss as well. Just because these signals came from Xtreme Trader doesn't mean at all that they will be 100% profitable. There is always a chance that these trades might fail. However, thankfully at Xtreme Trader, we can always recover the losses as soon as possible. So until then, I hope that is informative to you, and I would like to thank you for watching.